Good morning, good morning. Okay, we got lots of equipment today. A ball, discs, band, we're gonna have so much fun. I can just get this ball to stay in its place. Okay, here we go. Feet hip width, we're just gonna roll the shoulders. Up, back, and down. And now take it the other way. Now take the hands down just above the knees and let's do some standing cat-cows. Just kind of work whatever range of motion feels good. Make sure you're drawing up and in the belly, super important. Do a couple more. And now stand it up tall, sweep the right arm up and over, and then send the hip out. And then let's do the same on the other side. Sweep the arm up. Really try to reach it long. And let's sort of just oscillate slowly side to side. Try to breathe. I know I talk about this a lot. Breathe as much as you can. So the easiest way to remind you is anytime you begin a move, try to take a breath. Okay, now make a fist. Thumbs up. Send the elbows back. Squeeze them together and fold down with the belly, drawing up and in. And just sort of oscillate between up and down, moving it slowly as you need to. So it's not a race. Sometimes slowing it down gives you an awareness of where you're tight, gets you more out of the move often. Think about your range of motion, maybe try to expand once you've done a few. But really try to keep those elbows back, nice and high back there. Okay, now relax the arms, meet me in a full forward fold for 3 deep breaths. Bend or straighten the legs, whatever feels good. Now we're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. I want you to drift your hips back, walk your hands forward. And now walk those hands all the way forward to plank. Once you get into your plank, hold for a few breaths. Now move to a down dog. Let's push both heels into the floor. Now we're going to drive one heel down and bend the other leg. And then switch. Keep going nice and slow. Both heels down. Let's elevate onto those tippy toes and bring it back forward to plank. Now soften the knees, send the hips back. Try to get the chest going towards the floor. Maybe walk your hands a little wider. And now let's come up onto all fours. We're going to do a short little bear, maybe 3 or 4 breaths. So the knees come up just an inch. Now take it to a small downward dog. Try to get your heels on the floor and really get the legs nice and straight. Let's come back to that bear. And now let's put the knees down. You're going to come onto the tops of your feet, but we're going to open up the knees, and then we're going to sit back on the heels. So this should feel really good across the front part of the ankle. We're just going to hold on this for a couple of breaths. Then we're going to go down into a child's pose with our legs in the same position. If you want to enhance this stretch, you can walk your hands backwards, which really puts more weight into that area, so you might feel a little bit more intense. If it isn't comfortable, modify. Now I'm going to take it to child's pose. Child's pose of your choice with your upper body and arms. They can either be down or up, same with your forehead. Great opportunity to set your intention for the class today. You know, showing up is the biggest part, right? Okay, come on back up. We're going to start either with your Pilates ring or ball on inner thighs, and then we're going to transition to outer thighs. So make sure you have one of your small bands with you. So taking it down, ring and ball between the knees, relax the head. Now, before we start, I want you to get nice and flat on your shoulder blades and tilt your pelvis up so you feel that low back on the floor. And now you're going to begin with a breath and squeeze your knees in and then release. It's almost like 3 counts in and 3 counts out. That's a really good pace, keeping the movement very deliberate, both on the way in and on the way out. So you want to control it, or almost like you're resisting opening. So this type of workout is total body with an emphasis on the core today. So a lot of the exercises we're going to do, we're going to use our core at the same time. So draw that belly in. When you release the knees, you can let the pelvis roll forward. And then when you squeeze in, you can bring it back down to the floor. Whatever you do, just don't go too quickly. So we have about another 30 seconds of these inner thighs. And then we're going to do a quick transition to our outer hips. Now for the last 15 seconds, if you want to amp this up, lift the toes off the floor and see if you can still get that big squeeze and release going on. Now your lower back would be down on the floor. You're going to feel that 6-pack muscle working a little. And now put that piece of equipment away, whatever it is that you were using. Let's get that band right above the ankles. Legs go all the way up to the ceiling. Now we're going to start this exercise with our heels over the hips. So if you move them forward just a little bit, till you feel the six-pack work. That's a good place to start. Then we open up nice and wide and we bring it back together with resistance. So we're gonna work the same count we were doing with the ball. We're gonna do the same thing with the band. So it's pretty slow. And it's pretty deliberate coming in slowly. I'm not sure if that made any sense, but I think you know what I mean. Now, if you feel those heels drifting closer towards you, don't let them. And you want to make sure those shoulders are flat to the floor. So you're not using that part of the body to help open the legs. Really want to isolate and use the right muscles here. Let the other ones chill. Okay, 30 more seconds. We're gonna try to move the feet further out. So we feel that six-pack muscle working hard to keep that lower back down on the floor. So play around with the angle, make it hard, not easy. The more muscle you can think of recruiting, the better. Let's do a couple more. Hopefully you feel some trembling going on. Okay, bring your knees into the chest. Little quick reprieve here, circle them. Whatever feels good. Keep that bend. Maybe change your direction. Okay, take your bend above the knees. We're gonna roll onto the right side of our body. You can either stay up on your forearm or relax it all the way down. We're gonna do some clamshells here. So try not to let that left hip roll back. You wanna lift the knee up. We're gonna do 10 reps with our feet together, 10 with our feet apart, and then finishing it with 10 pulses. Work whatever range of motion you can get without rolling that left hip backwards. And it's the same pace. I figured that you got the drill by now, right? So 3 counts up, 3 counts down. Now I'm gonna lift the leg up so my feet are not touching anymore. And I'm gonna lower the knee and lift. And lower and lift. It's that same 3 counts. Be almost halfway to the 10. When you get to the 10, give me 10 pulses at the top. And then release it. Boy, did that kill me. Hopefully you felt it too. Now we get to go to the opposite side. So we start out with our 10 with our feet together. So now you have to pay attention to that right hip. Don't let it fall or roll backwards. One way to do it is to put your right hand on the hip, just to keep you mindful of where it is in space when the knee comes up. When you've done 10 with your feet together, separate them, lift that foot up. Do 10 more slowly, same pace. And then 10 pulses. Okay. Oh my goodness. Whew, let's get rid of that band. We're going to do a little happy baby stretch before we move on. So take it down. Arms come in between the legs. Take hold of the outsides of the feet. We're going to send the heels up towards the ceiling. And then we use our arms to help try to get the knees closer to the floor. So you're just going to hang out and enjoy this nice little stretch. Then we're going to stretch out the outer hips. And then we're getting back to work with some lunges. Okay, let's cross the knees. Grab hold of the outsides of the feet if you can find them, or your shins, and bring them in close to you. You're going to feel this on the outside of that right hip. I really like incorporating muscle work where you really take that muscle to fatigue, and then you stretch it out when you're done, as opposed to at the end of the class. I just feel it, I don't know, works better. Okay, let's switch it. Left knee over right. Find those feet and draw them in. Okay, uncross them. Rock and roll yourself up. Grab it. I'm going to get a quick sip of water first. And up we get. So I'm going to move my mat out of the way because I am going to use part of this exercise with a disc, part of it with that. So that's exerciser's choice here. You don't need to disc if you don't want to. So here we go. First 10 reps, no weights. Then we hold 2 weights in our hands. So I've got the disc under my right foot. I'm going to slide back into a lunge or step back. Work whatever range of motion you can. Come back up. Lift the foot up so your knee is coming up. And then you're going to step forward, push back. Now my foot's on the disc again. I'm going to slide it back. And forward, and knee up, and big step forward, lunge it, and push back, foot's back to the disc. When you do that step forward, make sure you're remembering to drop the knee in the back. I like to take as big of a step forward as I can. You know, you want to feel stable and be able to soften that landing a little bit. But it is important to challenge your range of motion. So if you're not using a disc, it's just a forward and reverse lunge with a knee up in the middle. That's one way to think about it, right? Nothing we haven't perfected before. Try to come up if you're gliding as smooth as you can. Okay, this is my last one without weights. Whenever working legs, you really want to try to go as heavy as you can, realizing that when you do use a disc, maybe one level less might be helpful, because it's extremely challenging if you haven't done that disc yet when you're holding weights. So I like to start, I limit my range a little bit from what I was just doing without weights, and then try to get it back once I've done a few. Now, you can add in a bicep curl at any point. It's also a really great way to challenge your balance, getting that knee up. Also slows things down. When you're gliding back, you've got to give your upper body a forward lean to really access that glute of the left side. When we push back, you want to weight into the heel of that front foot. Whoops, I forgot the knee up on that one. Gotta pay attention, Kirsten. Okay, a couple more here. Then we're gonna do a little planking before we transition and do the other leg. Okay, so I'm gonna put these weights down. I'm gonna bring my mat back. And get down into a low plank. I'm gonna fold over the front part of my mat, just so it's a little cushier for my elbows. So I'm starting out in an 8-point plank. So send those knees back, put them down on the floor. Try to get the elbows in front of the shoulders and start in this position for a couple of breaths. Should feel like work for the belly. If it doesn't, your knees are too close in. Now elevate off of the knees. Put the knees back down in slow motion. You have 5 reps here, not 10. Lift. Lower. lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. One more, lift, and lower. Okay, walk it back to a quick child's pose of your choice. Now let's just come up on our knees. Try to sit on your knees if you can. If you're not comfortable, switch to cross-legged or staff pose. Get your posture right, and then send your head to look right. And then come back slowly and do it again. Look right again. And come back and do it again. You're still working that 3 count. We're going to do a few more. See if you can turn and look a little further. But don't lose or compromise your posture. Now let's take it the other way. You'll notice you probably don't get as far in the beginning. Really try to proud out the chest and broaden through your shoulders. So you're really trying to pull the shoulders apart. Bring that chin in so your ear stacks over the shoulder. And enjoy a few more of these, nice and slow. Try to improve that range. Last one. Now tuck your chin down. Just hold. Now this doesn't mean that we've rounded the upper back. Your posture never changed. Look up and send it down again. Look up and one more time. And now you're going to come up. We're going to move the mat back out of the way and do that left leg. Oh my goodness, I've never had this much fun. Okay. So we start out without weights. We do 10 reps, disc on the left foot. Here we go. Send it back. Give me that nice forward lean. Push into the heel as you raise back up. Lift the knee. Step forward. And the other knee comes down. Push back to your starting point. Now, when you're not holding weights, on this type of exercise, that's when you really want to try to challenge your range. We should be coming up on halfway. You're going nice and slow and deliberate. Except for when you're pushing back, of course. Then you want to give yourself a really big push back. Try to keep getting deeper and deeper. It's amazing how working a big range of motion with the glider can not only get the heart pumping, but using the weight of your body is an amazing way to train, because you don't have to worry about what weight to use, right? It is what it is. Make sure if you're gliding back, you're sending the whole body back. Okay, this is my last one. And then I'm gonna grab those weights. Okay, find your weights. And remember, I said you can perfectly fine if you need to limit some of the range on the first few, just to kind of get the hang of it. It's a very different feeling when you're using a glider. You should be about halfway. So working on the last 5. Whoops, you can tell when you're starting to get tired. It's harder to glide up. So pay attention, focus on what you're doing. Try to execute with perfection. Don't forget, add in those bicep curls if you like. Okay, one more. Okay, on this next exercise, I'm going to do one at a time. So you have an option. If you don't have a long band or a door handle, grab a weight, get into a split lunge, and row the opposite arm of which leg is forward. Also, great opportunity to make that part of your core. So get that belly in when you're leaning forward. Now, if you're using a band like I am, you create some good tightness in the band. I've got my feet hip width apart. I'm going to keep my spine long, send the arm all the way back straight, and then come back up to my starting point. So I'm folding down, wading into my heels as I bring the arm back. You're going to feel the whole arm in this exercise and that right shoulder blade. If you don't, maybe you need to step back a little bit more. And please, if you're rowing or using a band, you don't want to over grip. So we have 10 slow reps. And then we're going to do some pulses. Keep micro bends in your knees. We really want to try to get this arm to fatigue. Now, if you're rowing, you have to keep the shoulders square. Keep your hips square and that belly in. Okay, I'm going to do a few rows right here before I do my pulses, just to get some oxygen back there. And now I'm going to send the arm back, and I'm just going to pulse at the top of the move. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, if you're using a band, that should have felt killer hard by the end, right? You want to get it right to fatigue. I'm going to grab a quick sip again. Why not? Water's great. And here we go. So standing, feet hip width. Perfect posture. Arm goes by the side of the body. Send it all the way back and then come back up. Try to find those 3 counts in both directions. So there's no bending of the elbow if you're on a band. Be about halfway. Ooh, getting sweaty. Turn on my fan. There we go. Okay, a few more. And then we add the pulse after we just take a couple of rows. Okay, up and just send the elbow back by your side and forward. Okay, let's take the arm back. Let's pulse it. Whether you're rowing with a weight or using a band, you're creating that little bit of movement just for about 10 seconds. And then release it. Whew, that was tough. Okay, let's give that part of our body a little bit of a break. Bring your mat back. Meet me in a staff pose. We have some core work to do. Okay, so heels to the corners of the mat, or maybe in just a little bit. Hands on your knees. Send the chest forward with your spine long. Keep your feet flexed. Now send it back. Feel what happens to the abdominal area. You feel a tightness of muscle there. That's what you want to find. When you find that, you want to really try to pull the belly in towards the spine. And then send the chest forward between the legs and back. Now, if you're ready, take one arm off. Come forward, reach that arm forward. Reach, reach, reach like you're trying to grab something. And then put the hand down and switch. Send the left arm forward, lean back, belly in, and then reach that arm forward. As much as you can, and then put that hand back down. Send the chest forward, lean it back. Both heels are going to come up. You can hold your knees if you need a little help with balance, or you can send both arms straight up to the ceiling. So you're just kind of balancing here with the stomach pulling in. Now, if you're ready to add on, straighten one leg, bend it, straighten the other, bend it, straighten both. Maybe you're ready to grab your big toes, hold those legs straight, open them, and close them. Don't collapse through the lower back. Open and close, and let's just do one more. Now release the feet and hold your hands right by your little baby toes. You're here for 5, 4, crowd out the chest, 3, 2, 1. Heels to the front corners, hands to heart, fold forward. Flex your spine. Keep your hands at your heart and your spine flexed and send it back Pilates style, nice and slowly, drawing in the belly. Once you're down, palms go back behind you, but they stay together. Point your toes. Bring your hands back to your heart. Push the palms into each other, lift your head, tuck your chin, roll up, take the torso forward. Keep pushing your hands together, send it back, belly in. Coming down slowly. Arms are going to go back. Push them into each other. Bring them back to your heart. Lift your head, roll up slowly. Now release the arms between your legs. Walk them out. So you get a little bit more of a stretch in the back of the hammies. Hold on this spot and take a few breaths. Okay, we're going to come back down Pilates style, hands back to your heart, go slow. Once you're down, release the arms by your side, get flat on your shoulder blades, step both feet in as close to your butt as you can get them, rock the pelvis, tilt it up, roll it down, 3 counts in each direction. I know I sound like a broken record with that 3 count, but this should be done nice and slowly, or even slower than 3 counts. Keep drawing the belly in no matter what direction you're going in. Now, send that back down towards the floor, so there's no space. Push your weight into your heels and start to roll it up into a bridge. Get your hips up as far as you can. You're going to cross your right ankle onto your left thigh. Flex that right foot. Let it just rest on your thigh. Lower your butt. Lift it up. Do that 10 times. Then we do a pulse at the top for 10. Work whatever range of motion you can. Three counts down, 3 counts up. I know you could have guessed it, but I'm just giving you that friendly reminder. Okay, when you've done 10, you're doing 10 pulses at the very top of the move. And then relax your butt down, put that foot on the floor. Give me 10 pelvic rocks. A little bit of a reset before we do the other side. Then it's stretch time and we're done. Time flies. Just know you did a lot of good for your body today. It thanks you. Okay, with that low back skin on the floor, left foot onto right thigh, flex that left foot like you're trying to do a figure 4. And then you lift up and lower down on 3 counts. 10 times. You're pressing into that right heel, not the pad of the foot or the toes. This is a lot of core development. Super good for you. Keep those hips even. You got to be the boss of the movement. When you've done 10, it's time for those 10 pulses at the very top. Get those hips up. Feel that burn. And then slowly lower down. Let's meet in happy baby one more time. Nice little stretch for that low back, your inner thighs. Make sure that lower back is down on the floor, don't let it roll up. You can add a rock or you can just hang out and breathe. Okay, release the feet back down to the floor. Send them all the way down so your legs are nice and long. Point the toes. Send the right and left arms straight back. Big full body reach. Now bring the arms back in. Knees come in nice and close to the body. We're going to rock and roll up. You're going to get up onto the tippy toes. Just hang out here just for a second, nice and high on the pads of the feet. And now take it all the way up. Reach those arms all the way up. Salute the sun. And I thank you so much for getting it done. Good job. Cheers, guys.